all of us film geeks love it when a brown cardboard box turns up in the mail, because generally these things contain geeky film gear, especially, well, when that's what we've ordered. Anyway, this one here, well, it contains some geeky film gear, and, well, you've read the title, so you already know that. I've got a Yolobox. What's a Yolobox? Let's have a look in here, and we'll open this up and check it out together, and look at what this thing can do. So here's the box, nice brown cardboard box. I'm going to open that up, and inside the Yolobox is another Yolobox. Who would ever have guessed? Let's just tip that one out. There we go. This sort of summarizes what's in here, by the way. It's a switcher, encoder, monitor, recorder. And that's a bit of an understatement. So I'll pull that off. By the way, that there opens up very, very nicely. It's kind of that Apple product feel that you get when you open this thing up, because it just slides out nicely. Let's do that again. I love it when products do that. Anyway, inside this thing, we have got a quick guide. Very quick indeed. It's got a QR code on the front that'll take you to a digital manual. The instructions, that's it. That's the quick start guide there. Connect, capture, and stream. Obviously quite keen on this real fast workflow and keeping it really easy, and they actually do this very nicely in here. The company, by the way, is YOLO Live, and the URL is down below, including links to where you can get one of these things if you're keen on them. Let's have a look, see what this is. I have opened this before. Just a screen protector, and there's a booklet here which is a user manual. Just got basic what's in the box, a little bit of information on connectivity and frame rates that it supports and all that sort of thing. It will support up to 1080 60p, which is awesome, into the two HDMI inputs. On the back of that there is also a SIM card remover. Yes, this thing takes a SIM card. There are three ways to network with this. You can either plug it into Ethernet, you can set up the Wi-Fi, or you can just put a SIM card in here and stream straight to cellular data. It's absolutely brilliant. And underneath here we've got the device itself. Also in the box there's a carry bag, a USB-C cable, fast USB-C cable, and this rather nice little aluminium, I think it's all aluminium, or it's all metal anyway, ball head. It will go into a cold shoe mount or a 1/4 inch thread, and 1/4 inch thread at the top. It's a fairly lightweight screw on the side, but you only need to do it finger tight, and it does grip really well. Okay, so this is it. That's the size of it. It goes that way. We have got an HDMI in, another HDMI in, a USB in, and the USB in you can use for a webcam or something like that, for a third camera. And then we've got the HDMI out, Ethernet audio in, and a USB type C, which you can use for charging it. On the back here we have got a slot for the SIM card and a slot for an SD card. Also down on the bottom here is the power button. Okie dokie, so what I'm going to do now is power this thing on, and show you how it sets up really quick and have a bit of a play with it. Okay, it comes up with the intro screen as you'd expect. It does take a little while to boot up. While it's booting up, I'll tell you a little about the SD card. It has to be formatted as FAT32. You can't use HFS or any of the Mac formats on the card, and it won't take exFAT either. It needs to be FAT32. Anyway, when you start this thing up, it comes to this page here. So this is the basically start a new stream page. You can hit the plus button down here to set up a new stream, or you can hit the profile button up the top here and go and check out the account settings. Now in the account settings you want to come in here and hook it up to your Facebook account, hook it up to your YouTube account, if you've got it, a Twitch account. Twitter isn't running yet, that's coming in another firmware update. If you're going to be using this on Wi-Fi, this is where you come into the Wi-Fi here. You can choose your network and connect to it normally just by putting your password in. That's something that we're all familiar with, and then it's just got a few other bits and pieces in here as well. If you want to, you can factory reset it or log off the thing, and all those sorts of things. Now if you come to the main page here and it says that it doesn't have a network connection yet, you just need to do that good old Androidy drag down and refresh, and after your Wi-Fi connection is established, it'll come up and give you this main screen. So to create a stream, it's real easy. All you need to do is push the plus button and put in a stream title. I'm just going to put a BC because I don't have a lot of imagination on this. You can put a description in if you want to, and set up scheduled start times and things like that, but for right now I'm just demoing this quickly, so I'm just going to hit create, and it creates a new project there. Now in that project you can just tap it and it will open up, and it will show you some video sources. Currently I don't have any video sources in there, so let's rectify that. By coincidence, I happen to have a couple of HDMI cables here. This one here is hooked up to a camera, and this one here is hooked up to my PlayStation. So I'm just going to plug those into there, and there we go. Straight away, those two video sources come up. That's pretty brilliant. So you need to do is tap here to grow it to a full screen. There is an option in settings here as well, by the way, where you can choose HDMI program out and just have clean HDMI coming out of the HDMI output there as well. Anyway, I'm just going to reduce that again, and I'm going to show you some stuff, the video sources. Now there's some really awesome custom video sources in here that you can choose, and they are pretty cool. One of them's picture-in-picture, there's side-by-side. It's basically some of the digital video effects you get on some of the bigger switches built into this little box here. So let's have a quick look at that. Okay, to create a picture-in-picture, for example, so if you're playing your game like I've got here, I can go add video source, and as a picture-in-picture video. So what you're doing is you're using two video sources here to create a third video source. So the main screen is my game, I'll click that and next, and then the sub-screen is that one, and I click next, and what that does is it creates a new video source down here, and I can scale that down a bit. So I will make the picture-in-picture a bit smaller. I can just drag that around and put it up into the top corner, for example, and if I wanted to I could change the aspect ratio. So at the moment it's 16:9. I could make it 9:16 as a tall screen kind of thing if I just wanted a skinny one. It doesn't do green screening here at the moment that I know of, but that's fine. So I click done anyway, and there I've got this picture-in-picture option down here. So if I want to switch to the picture-in-picture video, I just click on that, and then that's on my program out. Another one you can do is a side-by-side one. I can just click on that, and then I can click the side-by-side option. Once again, video 1, next, video 2, next, and it brings that up as a side-by-side. You can't drag those around the screen and move the placement of them, but you can change the scale of them. And if you have images on your SD card, you can set a background image in here. I can put that one in. It's going to be weird, but you know, it'll work. So there you go, and you set that up. That's another video source. So if you're doing an interview, you could talk to a person A and then person B, and if you wanted to and you're having a bit of an intense conversation, you can click to the side by side and both talk to each other. Really powerful kind of thing that you usually only find on incredibly expensive mixers, or nowadays you can get this on the A10 Extreme from Blackmagic as well. But having that on this little pocket device, which is run off an internal battery, is just amazingly powerful. Now while I'm in here and I'm on the platforms page of the settings, I can turn YouTube on and say I'm going to send a private video to my channel. When you're setting up your accounts, particularly the YouTube one, you just log into your Google account through this thing, and it goes and gets your stream key and everything for you. You give it permission to manage your YouTube account. You are giving it that permission, do be aware of that, but you know, companies like this, they rely on their reputation, and you can easily turn that off again, on and off whenever you like in YouTube anyway. So if you're paranoid about the security, you can just turn the permissions on while you're using this and then turn it off again afterwards. That's fine. But it does make for a really easy setup. You just authenticate with your Google account. It's on an Android device, so you know you're pretty safe there. So when you're ready to go streaming, you just click go live and OK, and this brings this up and it shows you your data rate, your frame rate, how many drop packets you've got, and how long you've been streaming for. You can switch between the different views and things you've got here, and straight away that's going to the stream. That's streaming live now. It's doing it over Wi-Fi. If I wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi and had a SIM card in, it would do it over my cellular connection. or it would do it over an Ethernet connection if I put a cable into the back of there. The last couple of things I wanted to show you in here is the sports scoreboard, which is quite a unique feature. I haven't seen that on a mixer before, and how it's got some pretty cool DVE bug effects for lower thirds and for putting a logo or a graphic on. So if you were to click down here, you can bring up a team scoreboard thing, and I'll just set that up quickly now. I've been messing around a bit, and you can see it brings up the scoreboard on the screen when you turn that on, and you can just drag that down to anywhere you want it placed on the screen that suits, and you can change the score at any time, and it updates it on there. If you go into team info here, you can put the team names, or in the case I've got here, I've got boxes names, and you can add logos if you want to as well. So there's a rather unique feature. You can also put lower thirds on it for nameplates or something like that, and I'll show you how to do that. If you click here on the overlays, you can set up a number of different overlays in here. So I've put together a couple really quickly. To make an overlay, you just push the plus button. You can choose an image overlay like that, in which case that image you can set to come up and go over the whole graphic. To create a lower third, you just click on lower thirds here, you choose one of the templates. I don't know if you can custom make other templates in here. I'm going to be finding out about that and talking to Yololive to see how we can customize some of these things. But you just choose one of these templates, and then you can just come in here and you can type some stuff you want into it, and they come up here, and then you can just tap it and it fades in, and then tap it again and it goes away. So that's as easy as it is. You just choose which of those layout templates you want, type the text in that you want, and then run it on and run it off. It's really simple. And the same thing goes with the titles. You've got a title here, you just turn the title on and turn the title off. If you want to edit these, you just hold down on it and click the edit icon. So as you can see, there's some really incredibly powerful features in there. Another video source that you could have is video running off the SD card. Now if you've got more than one of these, you can set them up so that if one is broadcasting, you can then come in here and find another live stream that's running on the same account and include that as a video source for this one. What that means is that you could have, say, 3 or 4 of these on different cameras at an event that are broadcasting out, and then you can pick those 4 live streams up with this one and switch between those. So that's 4 remote cameras coming to a master streamer, and I can't wait to see what else they do for bigger mixing and stuff like that in the future. These guys are going to come up with some fascinating stuff, I tell you. So anyway, another data source type is video that you can play off an SD card. You can also load a PDF file in here and use it as a sort of slideshow. USB, as I said before, for a video source off a webcam. And the other one is this split view here, where you can take 2 video sources like this, just like you did with the picture-in-picture and the side-by-side. And it's got a border up between them, which you can thin right down to nothing or make a bit wider, just however you feel like. You can't change the color of that at the moment. It would be cool if you could, but that's another thing to come. You can move the separator left or right if you've got different things. So if you've got something happening on one side, say a presentation there, you could put a PDF data source in there, you see, and use that and combine these things together. Or in the center there, if you just wanted a fairly simple thing happening. And the separated direction is another really interesting thing, because you can rotate that around to 45 degrees and just come up with a slightly more dynamic feel if you wanted to do sort of a side-by-side interview thing or something like that, or you were talking about something happening in the other pane. So there you go, that's quite interesting as well. So there you go, that's a fairly quick, concise overview of the Yolobox from Yololive. I think it is absolutely fantastic device, and I'm really looking forward to go out and playing with this one. I've just been doing all of this on here now for the last 15-20 minutes. I've been playing around with it, and we've worked all of that out, and the battery's only gone down 6%, so that will give you a fairly good indicator of the battery life. You could probably get a good 4 or 5 hours out of that. I think I haven't tested that out. I will come back and let you know. that's also while this is streaming over Wi-Fi. I've left that stream running. As you can see, I've got this hooked up here and it's near an ATEM Mini. I'm going to look at how we can relay these things, because the ATEM Mini can take this as a data source, but also you could run the ATEM Mini into this and use the Yolobox as broadcasting over Wi-Fi or broadcasting over cellular to send out, if you don't want to dedicate a cell phone to the back of the ATEM Mini. So it gives you another cellular output or another network out option. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this and that you've found this device interesting. There are links to it down below in the description if you want to have a look at more info from Yolo Live, or if you're keen on buying it, there's an Amazon link down there which I do get a kickback on. And click here to subscribe so you can see any new videos I put out, which are going to be definitely about this coming soon, and this video and this video here, ones you really should watch as well, because YouTube picked them for you and they know the kind of things you like because they're watching you all the time. I'll see you later.